So this has been recorded day after, because the audio for the clip yesterday was awful. So day 5, it's a back and biceps day, focusing more on the mid-back, mid-upper back, rather than the lats. Still a bit of lat work in there just to maintain them, keep them going, just the same way as during a lat focused day I'll have at least one movement that's row focused. So I started off with pull-ups. After 2 sets of that, I moved on to isolateral underhand grip front row. So you pull it down like that. Did 3 sets on that. Then moved on to flexion rows on the cable stack. You'll see in the video, but it's not something I see people do very often. It's something I got from Dr. Mike Israetel from YouTube. So you put your feet against the guard things up against the stack, and you try and straighten your legs as far as possible. And you have a really wide bar, and you grip the bar quite wide. And then when you come forward, you lean forward, and you basically flatten yourself all the way down. Really extend your back and your arms as much as possible. Really let them round. And then when you come up, you bring up first, then you row. You really squeeze at the back, and then you very, very slowly let it down again. I really like this exercise. I feel it really hard in my mid back, which is great. That's what it's for. I also feel it a lot in my erectors. And people like Sam Sulek say, "Oh, I don't need to work my erectors," because he's got massive erectors. Because it's his body. His body's all different. And I think he does his pull downs a bit weird. So he ends up pulling the pull down quite a bit with his erectors. I don't do that. I don't do lat pull down anymore because I didn't feel any activation from it. I didn't feel enough for it to be worth it. I feel so much more lat on the isometric front row, that there's just no point doing lat pull downs anymore. I'd rather do a couple pull-ups. So yeah, I wanted to work my erectors as well. And then after that, I went on to face pulls. That's what they're called. But again, instead of the one where it's set above you and you're pulling down, I don't like that one. Doesn't activate. I just don't feel it. So what I do is I put the cable stack below my knees, and I pull up, and try and push my elbows back like that, and then I feel it in my rear delts and a bit in my mid back as well. So. Then we moved on to biceps. For biceps, we did overhead bicep curls. So basically, got my arm here, and I'm hooked onto the cable stack, and the other arm's holding the cable, and I'm pulling, and I'm flexing behind my head, and then swap over the other arm, and then. Can't remember what else I did. I was meant to do spider curls, but I couldn't. It was so busy. And I think I tried to do something. I might have just ended up not doing anything because I was getting quite short on time. But I did superset those sets with some leg raises, so hanging leg raises, because there was a pull-up bar on the cable setup. And I think that's all I did, from what I remember. Like I said, this is the day after. Obviously you'll see in the video if I did anything else. But yeah. Morning weigh-in was 80.5, I think. So yeah, we're getting down there, making progress. And yeah, that's about it. See you in the rest of the video.